This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, December 24th, 2021. It's Christmas Eve, everyone, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando, where it's balmy 78 degrees. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, and mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
Merry Christmas, y'all. December 24th.
Merry Christmas.
For sure.
You know who's listening to the show right now is the people who have awkward family situations. They are in another room with headphones in, listening to their podcast.
Or they're in the same room with headphones in.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, let us be your escape, because I know y'all are talking about 2 or 3 things. You're talking about politics.
Yep.
You're talking about vaccines and Omarion. You know what I'm saying? Just let us be your escape. We may talk about those things, but I'm gonna make fun of most of those things. So it's going to be good. I'm going to give you some fodder for your conversations.
Yeah, I was going to say, what we'll do, we're going to give you a cheat sheet on how to win any argument at the holiday table.
I've decided that I no longer want to talk about or hear people talk about these topics, like politics, inflation,
I feel you, bro.
COVID. It's off the table, man. I'm not saying it's not good for some people to talk about them, but I'm done. I feel like half my conversations feel like Groundhog Day right now.
Right.
Where it's, hear about the new variant. Oh, what about this new? Some legislation about mandate. I'm done.
Right.
Like,
Jesse, here's the issue with that too, is that none of the people that are the most passionate about any of these topics have any experience in any of these areas. It's like, dog, a plumber, bro. Mm-hmm. What are you cannot tell me what to do with vaccines and all that. You are a plumber, bro. You fix toilets, dog. Like, just because now you might be the best plumber in Idaho, but I'm saying that does not mean you are an expert in vaccines. Like, just leave me alone.
Like, if your last name is Fauci, you can talk about these things, right? But anybody else, just talk about what you know.
Hey, look, even if you took a class in college, I'll take that. It's like, yo.
Here's the degree of burnout I have. I start pretty much every day while I'm getting ready or making coffee. I listen to a couple news podcasts, just quick daily, Up First. I like to listen to daily. I was listening to one this week and I'm like, I think I've heard this before. I think I accidentally queued up one from December 2020. And I look back, I was like, no, this is December 2021. The reason it sounds like I've heard this before, because I have heard this before. They've been talking about the same thing for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you though, for y'all hiding from family arguments with this podcast, the best thing I ever did and we ever did as a family is a few years ago. I mean, it was contentious politically. It's been contentious for 5-6 years at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So a long time ago, I have a kid. He's the only grandson. And it was a thing of, I don't need this stress in my life. So as a family, we need to decide that if we want to have a relationship multi-generationally between grandparents and grandchildren, we have to agree that this is a safe space. And we as a family, when we're together, will not talk business. We will not talk politics. We will not. There's certain hard boundaries that we have on topics. And we agree to it. And for the last 5 years, we don't talk about that stuff, and we have a lovely time together as a family.
I think that's amazing. You know what I mean? I think that's
you just have to be upfront. I will not go there. I do not want to see you through that lens. And so we're not going to focus on that when we spend time together, right? We're going to focus on other things that'll bring us together.
Let's talk about the new Spider-Man movie. Let's talk about that stuff. Let's talk about normal family stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of the new Spider-Man movie.
No spoilers.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's phenomenal.
Okay, well, coming up on the show today is somebody who, no spoilers, is having a moment. Andrew Garfield, he's coming up on the show. So
shout out to Andrew. Listen, bro, I'm happy that he is getting his just due, because his run of Spider-Man wasn't as bad as people try to make it seem. Like I was very skeptical when I first when they first, because Toby did such a great job. Sam Raimi, like that series was great, but then people don't like new things. That's just the fact of the matter. And then when he came out, I think he got sort of a bad rap. And it's kind of as the MCU was kind of budding, and people were kind of, I think, upset that Spider-Man probably wouldn't be in the MCU. I think he got a little bit of that backlash as well. So man, hey, kudos and good for you, man. I'm glad he's finally getting some respect,
Well, they had to just go kill off everybody else, right? And then now what are you left with? Spider-Man can keep going. Is that what? Yeah. I don't know. I don't follow along. I just heard there was some sort of snap. Everybody died, and now Spider-Man's left. Is that right?
Well, he got snapped away too.
Just stop, bro. Cameron, stop. Just stop. Cameron's not a superhero fan, so it's like listening to, I don't know. It's like listening to your grandmother talk about, football or something. It's just not. It's just gonna be off. Like, they ran the ball this way. Did they dribble the ball through the field goal? That's not Cameron.
I have so many passionate Marvel people in my life. I have learned how to be just ignorant enough to really get them upset. You know what I mean? Just like you say things that are just kind of off, and it's kind of like Dwight Schrute about Battlestar Galactica. In The Office, where it's like, he wants to set everybody straight.
Blurred, so I need y'all to, I'm a blurred. I need you to put some respect on these comic book names. You know what I'm saying?
A blurred, a black nerd.
Yeah, that's an actual thing.
Really?
That's an actual thing.
Is there a Facebook group?
There is an actual. Online? That is a thing. Blurred. Like
I've never
that
heard
is
that in my
thing.
entire life.
That is because you're not black.
Because I'm not black.
It is because I feel like the original sort of person that embodied was like early Donald Glover. I feel like he had no shame about some of his nerdy leanings.
Yes.
But he obviously is a brilliant guy, and Childish Gambino, an actor. But he seemed to he leaned into his nerddom early on. It seems to have worked out pretty well for him.
There's a player on the Orlando Magic named Terrence Ross, who's the same thing. He's passionate about comic books and Robin Lopez as well. We have several guys on our team that are passionate about all this stuff, and that's their persona online. They're unabashedly comic book people. You don't think about that with cool NBA guys.
Now, I will say this. We have Andrew Garfield on, who's in a very, I don't think it's a spoiler. I think it's pretty much people understand he's in the new Spider-Man movie. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm fully aware of
literally you're the first person who has said that spoiler publicly that I've encountered. I
know, it's a big thing.
Is that a spoiler?
Not really. It's not
technically,
really.
But not really. Yeah,
it is, but it ain't really.
But here's the thing. Okay, I respect Andrew Garfield, but I have a contentious hypothetical relationship with him because I've never met him. But Andrew Garfield and I were born the same year. Okay. This year alone, he has released The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which was covered in Relevant. He has just released the critically acclaimed Lin-Manuel Miranda project, Tick, Tick, Boom, on Netflix, which is critically acclaimed. And he's now, spoiler alert, in a prominent role in the third biggest movie of all time as of the moment, right? He's accomplished more in the last 3 months than I have since we were born the same year. Okay. And now he's just showing all his 1983ers up. Okay. He's like, I get it. I'm a big Hollywood actor and I've accomplished more over the course of my career than you have at this age. But he just threw a 2021 flex. He's like, not only has my career been more accomplished than you, my 2021 was more productive than all 38 years of your life combined. So how does that, I feel like, I don't know if he's doing it intentionally, but I feel like he is. Do you guys feel like that when you see someone hyper accomplished that's your exact age? Like, what are you trying to prove here, man?
Hey, man, you can't look to your left or your right. You just got to follow God's calling your life, pursue your passions. Do not compare. Comparison will kill you. Do not compare, Jesse. You are uniquely created by God in the image of God. He has a plan and purpose for your life and for Andrew Garfield's life. His success is not your failure.
Woo!
Cue that organ up, Clark. I need you to cue the organ.
Listen, I thought at this point in my life, I would have been at least one of the biggest movies of all time. Not top 3. I'm not trying to compare. Just one of. I would have taken top 10. Okay?
Well, all right. Well, we have a great show in store for you. Also, at the end of the show, your feedback. Well, we have some feedback for one of our listeners. Sarah Fitz, Sarah's Tames Bears, joins us live because we have some follow-up questions to her ice cream predictions that you heard.
Yo, yes. Hey, Sarah, let's get it. So she's coming on for real?
She's coming on. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
We're working out the timing. Yeah.
That's what's up.
There you go. Well, before we break for relevant news, I want to actually make sure you know about something happening this week over at our store. If you go to relevantstore.com right now, we are doing a big end of the year sale now through New Year's, where you can get 20% off of anything in the store. Plus, if you spend more than $50, you get free shipping. Combined, it's a pretty good discount. It includes everything from our new print edition pre-order. You get the discount on top of the discount on that, plus all the new merch that we add every week, podcast fan stuff, everything. The store is awesome, and we're so excited about everything that you guys have responded to over there. Thank you for everybody who's pre-ordered our print edition. It will be shipping in January. The pre-order has been very successful, and it's shipping in January. We're excited about that. And then also make sure to check every Friday. We add new merch to the store. But right now, end of the year sale, go over there. There's a promo code that you can get there at the store to get 20% off plus free shipping over $50. Okay, stay tuned. Up next, it's Relevant News.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. Oh, 'tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Down we now, gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Let me tell you about this Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Come on and deck the
You're listening to Langhorne Slim. The song is Deck the Halls. Well, today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. No matter who you are, your mental health has a serious impact on your life. It affects everything: work, family, finances, dating life, and even your relationship with God. So taking care of your mental health is a huge part of living the best life you can. That's why there's BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. Right now, BetterHelp is offering Relevant Podcast listeners 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/relevant. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/relevant to save 10% off your first month. All right, it's time for
Relevant News.
Please welcome to the show Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huckabee, helping us stay connected to what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on this week? It's Christmas Eve,
It's Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. So there's a lot going on, but if you're listening to this, you want to stay on top of the late breaking news, obviously. And so that's what I'm here to deliver. And I want to talk about, cause this is a very interesting conversation, and it's been one of the most looked at posts we've run in December so far. So I wanted to bring it here. Talk about some remarks that Billie Eilish made when she was on the Howard Stern show last week. Did anybody see this? Cameron, I know you know what I'm talking about.
I have my purity filter up. I can't listen to Howard Stern.
Yeah,
but I read Relevant's coverage of it. So
yes, we go to those sites so that you don't have to. That's the whole job.
Oh, okay. All right.
I know. I get the alerts.
Yeah, well, Tyler,
locked
to be
into
fair,
Sirius XM again.
Tyler was looking for the latest Ben Affleck tea, but just stumbled on some good Billie Eilish content. So
we got so Billie obviously hosted SNL, had a great album this year, and she dropped in on Howard Stern. And while she was on there, and she saying this to Howard Stern of all people was kind of a choice. I wanted to play this clip, but Sirius XM has a lockdown, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it that she said it, and you can go read more about it at the site. But she said, quote, "As a woman, I think porn is a disgrace." She said, "I used to watch a lot of porn, to be honest. I started watching it when I was like 11. I think it really destroyed my brain, and I feel incredibly devastated that I was exposed to so much porn." He asked her a little more about that, and she dug into it a little bit. She said that watching it initially helped her feel cool, like she was, quote, one of the guys. Ultimately, however, she admits it led to her suffering nightmares because of some of the content she watched that was extra violent and abusive, and also shaped, obviously, the way that she thought about sex and dating, her body in general. She said, quote, "The first few times I had sex, I'm not saying no to things that were not good. It was because I thought that's what I was supposed to be attracted to." She said, "I'm so angry that porn is so loved, and I'm so angry at myself for thinking that it was okay. Women's bodies don't look like that. We don't come like that." So those were comments that are not, this is not necessarily a popular thing for her to talk about, but I think that being exposed to apparently some abusive and violent porn at 11, which is happening more and more for people in Generation Z, getting exposed to this at a younger and younger age, it seems like it has, and statistically we know that it does really shape your views of sex and sexuality. It was interesting. She got a lot of pushback on this, but it was definitely a brave stance for her to take on Howard Stern of all places.
The pushback did not come from our Instagram followers. That was
it did not.
very, very supportive of her speaking out about that.
I think it's great that she's speaking out for a couple of reasons. Number one, she's a woman. And I think anytime a woman speaks up about porn, it's really good because there's a stigma that, women don't struggle with porn or women don't ever watch porn. And Billie is just kind of breaking that down. Also, the way she talks about, she started watching at 11 years old. And I think as parents, it's something that you have to be proactive at. I always talk with other parents, and it's like when we were young, all of us, when we were younger, we had to go find porn. We had to go find a magazine or go get a videotape. Yeah. Now it's it's just coming for you. It's everywhere. And so it's important that parents even realize, hey, if I haven't been talking with my kids about this, Billie was 11 and, that is really, really, really young. But it can happen. And so it's a good wake up call. The other reason I love that this is Billie Eilish is because it is just someone who is not coming from a worldview that is faith-based. And she's still saying the same thing that we as Christians are saying is hey, this is damaging to your brain. And you're looking at Billie, who's not coming at it from a scripture base or a faith base or anything. She's just coming at it from this is messing up your brain. And I think that is important for people to hear as well. I loved this story. Thanks. I'm so glad you brought it, Tyler. And I think it's important for us to talk about these things.
Don't know if I can do much better than that. I really do like that I think that especially in the Christian circles that I grew up in, you usually do, normally you do hear a lot about the dangers of porn, but I think it's often talked about in a way that's not super intelligent. It can be very shame-based. It can be very guilt-based and ends up not being helpful or effective or constructive. And so for her to just share from her own experience about the ways that it's messed with her mind, her self-image, and obviously her own sex life, her sexual experiences, I think that is a really great and thoughtful and frankly hard to argue with way. You can say what you want to, but she can always say, this was my experience. And 11 years old is very, very young. And we know Barna has done studies on this that we link to in the site. 11 sounds very young to us, but it is not uncommon.
Good Barna or bad Barna? Which Barna was it?
The Barna, not George Barna, who we obviously have the utmost respect for, but have some questions about some of his methodologies, as we've discussed here many times. But Barna, but David Kinnaman,
the
Barna group, have done good work on this, and you can look into that. We've linked to it over there.
But it is good on her for, speaking out on it and taking a position that might not be, well, obviously she's gotten some backlash from some people. So that obviously isn't necessarily a popular opinion in some circles and kind of would, like I said, I think the people who are criticizing her, conflate different values in their defense of something that seems objectively pretty terrible. You know what I mean? Bodily autonomy or free speech or free expression or whatever. But this is someone who's look, at the end of the day, this is terrible and messes people up, and children are exposed to it. So you can kind of, in her case, obviously she's willing to open herself up to criticism, to say something that, is objectively her experience, and one that I feel like it's good for people to be able to voice that and really kind of articulate these dangers. And to your point too, Jamie, that's not coming from a Sunday school teacher or some voice that you'd be like, well, obviously that person is going to tell me to stay away. This is someone who is a well-known young pop star out in the world that is, not afraid to articulate her experience in a vulnerable way. And I think that's really, really good.
And frankly, I've heard Billie Eilish talk more about porn and the effects it's had, the negative effects it's had, than I've heard any pastor in the last year.
Well, there's a reason for that.
The last time I can think, and I'm glad to be wrong about this, last time I can think of a prominent Christian leader talking about porn and the negative effects that it had on their life is probably Kirk Franklin 10 years ago.
Well, Mike Todd has been really open.
Mike Todd talked about it too.
He's been really open about it. Yeah, but yeah, besides Mike and Kirk, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And statistically, the good Barna has told us that 78% of pastors have privately admitted to struggling with porn, but 78% don't talk about that. So.
Yeah. And even someone who's like Howard Stern, who is having this conversation on his show, and I haven't listened to the context of what his kind of reaction was, but even that is like, I feel like if you were to rewind like 15 years ago when Howard Stern was primarily concerned with being a provocateur and often, hosting content that I think would be deemed pornographic, for him now to have someone, open up his platform to talk about the dangers of things that he even kind of helped foster in his career, I think is a positive thing,
It'll be interesting to see if this is part of a broader trend too. I do wonder if, given the sort of the my generation's sort of libertarian attitudes around pornography, I wonder if Gen Z and this is very hard. We don't know yet. It's too early. I looked for studies on this, and there's really just not a lot of data out there. But it'll be interesting to see if there's a pendulum swing back with them who've seen some of the damaging effects like Billy's talking about here, and it may push for a different sort of, hopefully a healthier way of thinking about sexuality and the commodification of it.
Yeah. I mean, just like over the last 10 years, we've seen a big shift on the conversation around mental health. Maybe this will be something where people like Billy sticking their neck out will make it easier for other people to speak up as well. We'll see a shift. Well, that's great. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. Follow Relevant on all the socials where we're covering what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture every day. And make sure relevantmagazine.com is part of your daily web surfing. All right. Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, stay tuned. Up next, Andrew Garfield joins us.
They told me a newborn came to see I find it's gifts we bring to lay before the king
You're listening to Anthony Hamilton. The song is Little Drummer Boy. Where our guest today is Andrew Garfield. He's having quite the year, starring in movies like The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Tick, Tick, Boom. Without giving too much away, another very big movie you may have heard about that's currently at the top of the charts in the theaters. Anyways, we sat down with Andrew to speak about his exciting and challenging roles he's taken on this year, what motivates him as an actor on big blockbusters and quiet indie movies alike, and how creativity has helped him figure himself out. Here's our conversation with Andrew Garfield.
They're singing happy birthday. Just wish you could run away. Who cares about a birthday but 3090? Hey, can you be optimistic? You're no longer the ingenue. Turn 30, 1990, boom, you're passé. What can you do? What can you do?
Congratulations, man. I really, really enjoyed the movie. I sincerely wasn't sure what to expect, and I was really blown away by it.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Really wonderful performance and project altogether.
Thank you.
And it felt to me watching it, and I'm curious if this was your experience with it as well. I guess when I think about like the trajectory of your career, a musical wasn't really in the cards. Like that wasn't something that I saw coming. And I'm wondering if that's something that you ever saw coming, or if you had to talk yourself into it a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, because, I say it this way, Lin-Manuel Miranda made a dream come true of mine that I didn't even know I had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I wasn't brave enough to think of ever doing a musical. I wasn't brave. I didn't have the courage to ever imagine I could be a part of something like this. Mm-hmm. And Lin saw me doing Angels in America on Broadway, or he saw me at the National Theatre in London, actually. And I think that gave him the confidence. I think he could feel that I was the right person for the character, but obviously the big question mark was the singing, because he didn't know if I had ever sung or if I could. But I think he saw that I had a vocal technique that enabled me to do an 8-hour show, 6 days a week at the time. And I think he just kind of said, well, I think if I give you the time and the resources to get your voice to that place, I believe you can get there. So I just borrowed his belief. I borrowed his confidence and his instincts. And it was a very gratifying when, he snuck into a rehearsal I was doing one day where I was just practicing, and he threw a shoe at me and shouted at me across the room, "Andrew Garfield, you can sing, and I don't have to recast you." It was a relief for both of us, because then we were kind of just we were just off at that point.
Johnny can't decide. Michael's gonna have it all. His luck will never end. Johnny's back against a wall. Can he bend his dream just like his friend? Johnny sees that Susan's right.
You've spoken very honestly and refreshingly about some of the challenges of working with bigger budget films and more expensive IP. And I'm wondering how working on something like this, that really feels like more of a passion project for people involved, if that changes the creative energy that you feel like you're able to bring to a project.
No, not really. I think it's just about your collaborators and who you're working with. And I think for me, I look back on that large, big movie of Spider-Man, and I just have such a wonderful feeling in my heart about it. I got to play my childhood hero, and I got to work with such incredible actors and a great director and a wonderful head of the studio at the time, Amy Pascal, and we had this incredible, loving collaboration. And I only look back on it now with a real joy and a real gratitude. And then I look at, talking about big budget stuff, there's a way of doing it where it feels really soulful. And I really, I look at, I have a very clear-eyed, objective view of what they've done, what Tom Holland and Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal, and John Watts at the helm have done with, this new incarnation of the character. And I'm like, yeah, man, they led with soul. They totally. They just kind of they led with joy, and they made this kind of coming of age, John Hughes, Back to the Future feeling thing. And I'm just such a fan. I love being a fan of the character again. I think being on the inside of it is stressful. So I love watching other people wrestle with it. But my God, I'm just so impressed with what they've done.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
Botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man. We started getting some visitors.
And then with this, it was the best possible version of work for me.
Yeah.
In terms of the subject matter, in terms of the tone on set that Lynn created, in terms of me feeling allowed, giving myself permission to play, giving myself permission to improvise, giving myself permission to be spontaneous from take to take and be alive. Let John live. Let John follow his impulses, and me just get out of the way and sweep the path so that he can dance and play and sing and make fun of himself and make fun of everyone else and go to the depths of emotion and the heights of the highs. It was one of those very rare, special things where I got to inhabit a character that is so full of life and that needed to be let off the reins, that it was just a pure pleasure.
This is the life of Bo. This is the life of Bo. This is the life of Bo. Bohemia. Showers in the kitchen, there might be some soap. Dishes in the sink, brush your teeth if you can cope.
That was Andrew Garfield. You can read more from that conversation with him in our new winter issue of Relevant. We have an amazing cover story profile with him. Don't want to miss it. Head over to relevantmagazine.com. Just click on the magazine tab. It's right there. You can read it for free. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I
You're listening to Alban Lee Meldau. The song is All I Want for Christmas Is You. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Now, after we do your question of the week feedback from last week, we will have our very special listener, Sarah Fitz, on with us. So, but last week we got talking, in her bit, she mentioned that her IG name, Sayers Tames Bears, was one that she just randomly picked when she was 17. And here, as a full-on adult, is still rocking her 17-year-old username. And it got us thinking, we all have that Gmail account, that Yahoo account that we still use, but we set up the name like a long time ago. We wanted to know your most cringe email address, social media handle that you still use. You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and on IG as well.
That you still use.
You still use. These
Still
are
have to
full-on
use
adults that they're still using it. So here's some of our favorites.
Okay, I want to start with Nick
These
McBride.
are so good.
Nick McBride, I'm not all that interested in his screen name, but there's something he included with this anecdote that I do want to address. He said his is Chicken Man 2000. And he has, just like everything, like there's an underscore and things are spelled in a way, so it's unique. But anyway, Chicken Man 2000. Which, by the way, if I was like in a novelty indie pop band, Chicken Man 2000, not a terrible name for that, but Chicken Man 2000 at msn.com. Again, I think that's a derivative like from the Hotmail era. But anyway, he said, I worked at Chick-fil-A in high school, parenthetically, who didn't, he says, and dressed as the now defunct chicken mascot Doodles. A few people called me Chicken Man, and he included and so that's where, because he was Doodles, official Chick-fil-A mascot.
I never even heard of Doodles. I ain't gonna even lie.
Nick McBride has included, and I think because Nick has included a picture of Doodles, and looking at the picture, I can tell why none of us have heard of Doodles. It looks like if, I don't know if you guys have watched the show I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, a very funny, weird, surrealist sketch comedy. I know Cameron and I binged the season one together, funny. But there's a sketch in season 2 where he dresses up in the gag is he's the host of like a prank show that's putting on this crazy like costume of like an elderly person is going to prank people at the mall. But as soon as he gets in it, he starts having a panic attack because it's such a bizarre costume and just a weird feeling of disembodiment. Doodles looks like that, like something kind of out of the nightmare zone, because his hands appear, his or her, I don't know. Well, I guess it's a rooster, so it's a him, because it's got a big red thing on its head. But it looks like 2 lobster claw type of oven mitts on the hand. It looks like a mask.
The chicken nuggets out of the oven.
Look, we're going to keep it gangster. This was before Chick-fil-A was making money like they're making it today.
That's right.
Like, this
is before Chick-fil-A discovered the cow campaign.
That's exactly right.
That's when everything changed.
And look, this is probably why no one ate at Chick-fil-A until the cow thing, because it was like, if I saw Doodles, I'm turning right back around and I'm gone. Like,
well, think about it. Back in that era, you had Ronald McDonald, you had the Burger King. It's like that. You had to have a mascot, and they went for Doodles the chicken. But you're going to a place to eat the chicken. Yeah, so, this is not a good.
So I am consuming this jolly fellow in the parking lot. I am eating a deep fried version of your family. And not only that, it looks. Do you guys remember speaking of Marvel movies, maybe what's considered one of the worst Marvel movies ever, Howard the Duck, like back in the 90s.
Howard the Duck was awesome. Howard the Duck is a Marvel. Yeah.
It looks like they got their hands on a bunch of old Howard the Duck heads, because Doodles does not look like a chicken head. It looks like a duck head with a rooster thing glued on.
Yeah,
it's very disturbing.
Yeah. Chicken Man 2000. That's a good name.
Okay.
Good that he still rocks that.
Let's see. Reliant K Girl. I like that.
Yeah, middle school. She still uses it. Amy Jensen, she was a huge Hawk Nelson fan. So her email address still is Hawk Nelson Silver at Verizon.
Oh, here's one. Chili Willy 79.
Chili Willy. I like it. I want to know the story behind that.
Someone on Instagram, I can't tell what her name is. She said hers was by Grace 26 because there were 25 people ahead of me who also wanted that email address.
All right, here's a good Grace. One. Maddie is a bra lover.
What?
Wait, brawl. That's what it says.
I think that's what it is. Maddie is a
zebra
lover. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Likewise, Beth Baum, hers, she loves turtles. So when she was a kid, she loved turtles. Turtlelific123 at AOL.
Well, Homesmith Home loved Derek Jeter. So hers was I love Jeter 02.
Oh, sorry. I know what it was. This is what threw me off. Tyler BWM is gotta get chicks too.
Brianna Hill, hers is Froggy Freak 1. Froggy Freak what? She liked frogs, she said. She was a Froggy Freak.
Oh, here's an Audio Adrenaline fan. Audio A Freak 16. All right.
Oh, yeah. Audio A.
Okay.
Oh, man. Hannah Graham, hers is Fast Blondie. I think that has a totally different connotation as an adult than it did as a child. She said she really liked running as a kid. She's a fast blondie.
I like that Ben said it was the.1 because of the Matrix movies. And Ben notes, I should get that back. He should get that back. The Matrix is about to come back, Ben. You can be the chosen one for us.
Corbin, he said he was punk and he wore ties and t-shirts with eyeliner in 2004. And so his adult email address is I wear ties 77.
The other thing too, I feel like this experience of crafting just an insane email address that it makes very little sense at the time unless you have basically some kind of decoder ring for this individual. I feel like it's a very isolated experience. I feel like no one outside of 2008, maybe even sooner, 2005. I feel like this was a window of about 10 years between maybe 95 and 2005 where people were doing it. Gen Z, they're normal. They just put their names. It's only our generation. It's like, I need an athlete, a band name, a store that I kind of like, or a fast food item, and I'm just going to make that the main calling card of all professional correspondence.
Well, we were probably afraid people might come find us. You got to keep it secret. It's the new thing on the internet. So don't give yourself away. And
now though you can just change your IG name, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They aren't stuck with their Hawk Nelson love of Hawk Nelson, but when you made it your email address, you can't change that.
Right.
That's the funny thing. It's all of these are email addresses. All right. Well, there's more feedback where that came from. Go check it out and chime in. Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
All right. Well, it's the last live show of 2021. Praise the Lord. Next week, we will be doing our best of, and the cast will have the week off. So the question of the week this week will actually be for the first week in January. So we're going to ask you this week's question of the week, and we will bring your feedback in January. So we want to know, going into 2022, maybe your hopes for 2022, your New Year's resolution. What's something that you are focusing on as we go into the new year to, maybe become a better you, spirit, mind, and body? Tell us your New Year's resolutions, and we will bring them on next week's show. Or
unless
the first
it's
week's show.
Drink more water. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
No.
I need a real resolution, take over the world or star in box office movie like Jesse.
A top 10 movie.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield. Are you New Year's resolutions people? Well, because I actually think they're pretty good. I think it's a wholesome trend.
I've
Derek,
never
you're shaking your head no.
I've never followed a New Year's resolution. So if I'm gonna make a resolution, I just make it right then.
That's my thing. Is I don't wait for this arbitrary. If I'm thinking about the new year, I'm just why am I going to wait 3 weeks? Let's just go. Let's just go now. If it's something I need to change, let's change it. I'm with you, Derek.
Because think about it. If it's losing weight and you're all right, December 1, you're all right, January 1, that's when I'm going in. Well, you're digging such a hole
in December.
Yes, you dig such a big hole in December that by the time you get to January, you're just back where you started December 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't do it.
I did get me a new book this year for goal tracking. And so I was just thinking through 2022, what are the big goals? What are 3 things I want to accomplish and kind of work through that. But that's just kind of it's a new year. What are we looking for? That's also kind of businessy. What are we looking for in the next 4 quarters?
Yeah. I think I just, I need to get better just with dental hygiene, flossing, brush, maybe a good electric brush. I'm just going old school, for last year. And I feel like probably about the point in my life to really invest in some good. We used to have an advertiser who would sell really cool space age, Elon Musk toothbrushes on here. I still need to do that. So I've decided, I'm going to go all in 2022, but to give myself a break, I'm not brushing my teeth till the new year. So,
Stupid. Just saving up. Yeah.
I want that first cleaning to feel real good.
Real good. Real good. That's funny. So yeah, hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and tell us your resolutions going into the new year. Your interesting ones. Again, not drink more water. All right. Well, that's it for last week's feedback. Okay. Now we promised you at the beginning of the show that if you heard last Friday's episode, we had a pre-recorded prediction segment with listener Sarah Fitz. She told us the week before that she feels one of her great skills that does not get acknowledged enough is that she can predict people's favorite ice cream flavors. We tried to get her on. Scheduling conflict. She sent in voice memos telling us predictions. If you haven't heard it, this next segment will make no sense to you. So go back and listen to the last Friday's show. But we had some follow-up questions for Sarah Fitz, so we got her on. She was able to join us live. Please welcome to the show, Sarah Fitz. Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
Welcome, Sarah.
Well, Sarah, where are you joining us from?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
And you're off this week, so you're able to come on with us. So we're excited.
Thank goodness.
Is it raining?
Happy Christmas break.
Oh, yeah, it's always raining.
All right. Well, last week you had some very bold predictions, and what we loved about the segment about how you came to the conclusions about the flavors is you kind of did like this background personality analysis for each of the cast members. It was very poignant and eye-opening. But we have some follow-up questions. I was fine with my prediction. I think Jamie was fine with her prediction. But Derek and Jesse has some questions for you about how you came to the conclusions about them. Yeah. So I will leave it to them.
Can I say real quick, you guys, I texted y'all, I listened to this podcast back again twice last Friday and cried laughing every single time.
It's one of the funniest podcasts we've recorded this year.
That was not my reaction. That was not the reaction.
So happy.
Now, Sarah, I'm going to cut to the, Chase, Derek, I know you've got some things that you need to address with Sarah
I'm actually okay with my prediction because I just like making things awkward. That's
Derek,
just what I do.
Your favorite flavor actually really surprised me a lot.
Butterbur?
I didn't. I mean, the other ones, like after Cameron said that he was like a little bit like disorganized and stuff, like his ice cream flavor made sense. Everybody else's kind of checked out, but yours was very shocking to me.
So butter pecan is like an old person's thing or something? Like what is it?
It's like grandpa vibes. Like you have like really good advice for people. You like to slow down and like talk to people at the gas station, that kind of thing.
Like they got a Werther's original in their pocket that they're about to hand out to the kids.
It's the ice cream. It's the ice cream equivalent of a sweaty hot Werther's coming out of the pocket of an old man greeting you in the church lobby.
Now I am an old soul though.
Exactly. It's an old soul thing.
I am an old soul. Like my mom used to make fun of me all the time because I would grow up and we'd be riding in the car and I'm listening to like records from like Motown and Stax and all that. She's like, I don't even listen to those albums. Right. So I am a bit of an old soul. So without you knowing that part of me, it would make sense that's
so interesting.
But I am very much an old soul. I am an introvert old man that is stuck in an industry that doesn't like introverted old men. Like that's what it is. Like, I think God made me a rapper so that I would get to enjoy life a little bit. Because honestly, I would probably just sit on the porch and drink sweet tea or something, or drink coffee just watch stuff happen.
Well, so that does make sense.
Your ice cream shows it. Your ice cream shows that part of you.
It seems like your batting average we've established is pretty solid here.
It's pretty solid.
Now, for people who have not listened, let me just say, Sarah projected that my favorite ice cream was birthday cake flavor, and that because I demonstrate the characteristics of a so-sociopath. And
she said it's like life of the party.
For people overnight.
Okay, so I let some people in my life hear this. because it was shocking. And I was trying to determine what libel law firm would be representing me. And I was doing some consultations, and most of them said, nailed it. She nailed it. It's like she has known you your whole life. And so, Sarah, I just want to say, first off, how dare you? Second of all, how many ice cream flavors come along with personality types that are generally associated with like serial killers and things? Go ahead.
Okay, so firstly, I want to clarify, it was not a jab at you, Jesse. It was more of like a caution to the listener. Okay,
it was a caution to the listener.
Caution.
I'm not.
This is for the safety
I'm not
of
even
everyone in your life.
licensed to make diagnoses like that, but.
Right.
I will say, like I was just saying that, it's a very small portion of the population that is, sociopath. And I was just saying that because it's like, it's the holidays. People are going on dates and stuff, and they're bringing people home to their families. Like they might want to watch their ice cream choices and notice. So that's why I said
you're
that.
on a first date with someone,
Sarah,
and the dude's like,
you.
I want birthday cake ice cream. That's red flags going everywhere.
What you're suggesting?
Look,
what you're
Sarah
suggesting is
sweetly cooking you right now. Bro.
I was going to say, what she's suggesting
she is not even trying.
My in-laws could have dodged this bullet had they just laid out a couple of bowls of ice cream and say, hey, it's open season. Have whichever bowl you want. And if they would have seen me pick up that birthday cake, be like, man, this is really good, especially since it's not my birthday. They're like, get him out. Get him out. This guy's a crazy man.
Sarah, I want to understand how you got to this expertise.
Yeah.
Is it just that you have had so much ice cream in your life that you started to notice patterns? Have you studied this art? Like, how did you get to this insight?
Literally, I'm an ice cream fanatic. Like ice cream every day, all day.
Wow.
24/7, 365. And I also I work with people. So I like people, I observe people, and I don't know, the two things, they just come together for me. So,
all right. Well, the question of the hour is, we've all heard, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'd say most people got good prognosis here. Some of us, are you're suggesting we be on some sort of watch list because of our ice cream flavor. Fair enough. You're the pro. But
you're the pro.
Let's see. I want to see you self-diagnose, Sarah. Tell us your favorite ice cream flavor and what it says about your personality.
Okay. So can I backtrack and answer your question about the psychotic kind of the psychotic flavors,
yes,
just so everybody knows.
Let's more about that.
Here.
Yes, let's dig in on that. Yeah,
there are only two, and it's and they're both kind of like, either you're a lovely person or you're kind of crazy. Okay. The birthday cake people, and then if somebody says their favorite ice cream is vanilla. Like not vanilla bean, but like vanilla. They need to be like on a watch list. So just saying.
What if they like vanilla with chocolate syrup on it?
Or vanilla
that's
in
different.
a root beer float
That's
or
different.
something.
Okay, so just plain
so different.
Vanilla.
If they're just plain vanilla, they could. It's one of those things where they could be either amazing, like so kind, sweet, generous, loving, but there's like that slight. There's that slight chance, like you might be a serial killer. I don't know.
So tell us about yourself. What's your ice cream flavor, and what does it say about you?
So I'm kind of like in the same ice cream family as Derek. I like an old person ice cream. I like pistachio.
I was going to say pistachio. I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
wow.
But the pistachio, so it's like kind of an old person thing, but I'm a little bit more like crotchety than the butter pecan kind of people. So I'm like a little bit like grouchier sometimes, and so that's
like kind of
that's me. But other than that, I am an old soul too. Yeah, I'm kind of like that. But I also am kind of an old soul, and so I kind of like old fashioned stuff. And I would say like I was born 80 pretty much. So that's me.
This has got me thinking though, Sarah. I would love to hear like if like real legit diagnosed psychopath, like what are their favorite ice creams? Like what did Charles Manson eat when he was hanging out in the villas of it? What did he eat? What was his ice cream? I'm really curious about these things.
I'd be so interested to know too. Like do like a whole like true crime
or former presidents, not to be named. Like, what are some of their favorite ice creams?
Oh yeah.
Is this a party trick that you bust out like at social gatherings where you like go around and kind of diagnose all the friends, or is this something that has strained relationships in your life because you've told people in your life that they're probably psychopaths? Like, how has this impacted your life? Is what I'm saying. This gift.
I would say it's more of a party trick, and it just opens up conversation so I could learn more about people.
I like it.
Interesting.
So, I like that.
I like it.
Interesting.
Sarah,
there you go.
We like this.
Hey, do you know what? If you had a podcast,
you're amazing. You need to start a podcast.
And I've already thought of a name for it. It's called because it's a podcast where you demonstrate this skill, and it's called The Scoop.
Oh, yes.
Man, that's great.
That's a fire.
I should do podcasts for a living.
Where do I get a copyright? Like, how does that work?
Oh gosh, we're in trouble.
Let's go for it.
The Scoop with Sarah Fitz. I like it. I'll tune in.
I think it's great. I'm all in. I'm with the scoops.
Well, Sarah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the diagnoses. Happy or Merry Christmas. I was about to say Happy Holidays, but I'm a Christian.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye. Before we wrap it up, I want to thank Andrew Garfield for joining us today. Make sure to check out our cover story with him in the winter digital issue of Relevant. You can find it at relevantmagazine.com. Just click on the magazine tab. It's a great piece. Also, make sure to check out all the other great content in the issue. Denzel Washington, Leanne Ford, Saint Motel, Lin-Manuel Miranda. There's some amazing pieces. Help us spread word. Go check it out and help us spread word, post about it, share it. All right. Also, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, head over to relevantstore.com right now to check out our latest merch, the print edition, podcast gear. And right now we're doing our year-end sale. Everything's 20% off plus free shipping on orders over $50. Go check it out, relevantstore.com. Also, as we go into the new year, make sure to, follow Relevant for the latest news on all the socials. You can also sign up on the front page of our website for our daily newsletter, bringing you the top 5 trending stories that we put out that day. It's a great way to stay in touch. And also on social media too. Posting on IG. We just joined TikTok. Go find Relevant on TikTok. And let's see, we're on the Twitters, we're on the Facebooks, we're on the YouTubes, we're on the IGs, and now we're on the TikToks. Okay, well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
Merry Christmas, everyone. We will see you live again in the new year. But don't miss our best of episode next week. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Yeah, I'm going to go all in 2022, but to give myself a break, I'm not brushing my teeth till the new year.
Relevant Podcast Network.